Suwit Kungitti, head of Thai delegation, has asked UNESCO to delay deliberation of the management site for Khao Pravihan for fears that it might lead to further escalation of conflict between Thailand and Cambodia. Suwit, who is now in Paris to attend the World Heritage Commission of UNESCO, has met with top executive of UNESCO to clarify Thailand's position with regard to the management side of Khao Pravihan. Suwit conveyed the message that Thailand would like the deliberation of the management site to be delayed out until Thailand and Cambodia could agree on the territorial settlements. Cambodia would like UNESCO to proceed with the deliberation of the management site for Khao Pravihan, which it seeks to have the Hindu temple inscribed as World Heritage. Cambodia also wants to develop the site around Khao Pravihan to fulfill its World Heritage status. However, Thailand claims that the site around Khao Pravihan belongs to Thai territories. Developing the site there would amount to an infringement on the sovereignty of Thailand. Lieutenant General Noppadon Chosiri, head of the Royal Thai Survey Department, Lieutenant General Thawatchai Samutsakon, commander of the 2nd Army Region, and General Nipat Thonglek, advisor to the National Defense Studies Institute, also took part in the UNESCO meeting. They presented a model of Khao Pravihan to show the members of UNESCO over how Cambodia's management site's proposal amounts to an infringement of Thai territories. Suwit said he would do everything to prevent a loss of territories to Cambodia. He added that Thailand would oppose Cambodia's attempt to manage the site around Khao Pravihan because the plan encroached Thai territories. Besides, Thailand would like to settle the border disputes with Cambodia first before both sides may consider jointly developed Khao Pravihan's World Heritage. Suwit also raised Thailand's concern over a news report that Cambodia has spent $50,000 in emergency fund to help villagers living at the staircase of Khao Pravihan. That area belongs to Thai territories. Suwit said Cambodia might try to win over territories there by claiming that it has used the money for development in the nearby village. On June 23rd, UNESCO will hold a meeting on the management site of Khao Pravihan as proposed by Cambodia.
Admirers and supporters of pro-democracy and iconic leader of Aung San Suu Kyi gathered to celebrate her 66th birthday in Tak province, Thailand yesterday. Burmese in Tak province of northern Thailand celebrate the birthday of pro-democracy leader and cultural icon Aung San Suu Kyi. On June 19th in the Tak province along the Thai-Burma border, politicians, students, and over 100 minorities have gathered to celebrate the 66th birthday of Aung San Suu Kyi, the pro-democracy leader of Burma. A large exhibition of her photos, which also displayed General Aung San, a Burmese hero, as well as Suu Kyi's father. Furthermore, there was also an exhibition showing photos of political prisoners and democracy. The event's participants have all taken turns talking about Suu Kyi's life, activities, the current political situation in Burma, as well as the many works that she's done. Then she sang her birthday songs over a birthday cake and wished her many more birthdays to come.
TEPCO opened doors to release heirs from reactor of number 2 nuclear plant. The Tokyo Electric Power Co. announced plans to open a main door at Unit 2 of Fukushima Daiichi nuclear plant on Sunday to ventilate the contaminated air and allow workers inside to set up equipment to establish a cooling system and reduce the risk of hydrogen explosion. Tokyo Electric Power Company spokesman Junichi Matsumoto said they had decided to open the double door from today at 8 p.m. to 4 a.m. tomorrow. They would open the door partially to control the dust in the reactor building. Matsumoto added that we believe that there will be no effect on the environment due to this action. Japan's March 11 earthquake and tsunami knocked out power to the nuclear plant, incapacitating its crucial cooling systems and causing 3 reactor cores to melt. TEPCO aims to bring the reactors to a stable cold shutdown state by early January 2012. The Fukushima crisis shattered Japan's confidence in the safety of nuclear energy and prompted anti-nuclear sentiment, but there are also concerns the country could struggle to maintain power supplies unless more of its reactors get back online. Of Japan's 54 nuclear reactors, more than 30, including 6 at Fukushima Daiichi and several others that stopped due to the quake, are out of operation.
2 tornadoes hit the New Zealand city of New Plymouth, 250 kilometers north of the capital Wellington early on Sunday morning. Emergency workers were cleaning up on Sunday after 15 commercial properties in the city center were damaged as the tornado shattered windows, lifted roofs, and tore down trees. 4 to 5 blocks of residential properties were also damaged. Residents described the noise of the tornado as frightening. Tavis West, the tornado victim, said it's just turned out into the sound of like a freight train hitting a house, and you could hear all the nails ripping out. It's been just panic, really, and they've come outside to find that the roof had come off. Power was cut to 300 homes in the area. The daughter of one family had a narrow escape when the glass conservatory she was sleeping in collapsed. Her mother explained how she found her daughter trapped in bed. Justin Hughes added that she was running downstairs, screaming to her daughter, and came down here, and the conservatory has been on top of her in bed. And her daughter has been crying, and they've got her out and rung the fire brigade, and we've got out stuff of hers, school stuff that was really important before it rained again. It's been awful. They've been scared. The local fire brigade said that there have been no reports of death or injury just yet.
Health officials in Germany have confirmed that they have detected the first case of human-to-human spread of the deadly strain of the E. coli virus that has claimed the life of almost 40 people. Authorities said a woman working in a kitchen of a catering company near Frankfurt became infected with the virus after eating sprouts and passed it on to 20 people she prepared food for. Health Minister Daniel Barr said on Saturday during a visit to the Institute of Hygiene of the University Hospital in Münster that now we have the proof that in this case, a human passed on the germ to the vegetables and then it was passed to other humans. Cases began appearing at the start of May, and the outbreak swelled to crisis level over the following 3 weeks, with the city of Hamburg at the epicenter. On Saturday, Susan Herget, an infectious diseases expert at the Middle East laboratories at Hamburg's Ausgleich Hospital, explained how the virus could be transmitted via food preparation. She said if someone has the disease and prepares food for others, and we know that for this infection just a small amount of bacteria is enough, then that food can get contaminated by the sick person. Germany's health minister has cautioned that even though the outbreak is waning after causing 39 deaths and sickening almost 3,000 people, further deaths are possible. Officials on Friday said the virus strain had been found in a stream in Frankfurt in the German state of Hesse. While officials say there are no consequences for the water supply, citizens in the state of Hesse are generally advised not to swim in local streams and rivers. Test samples were being taken from a nearby sewage treatment plant to try to detect a possible source of the contamination. Authorities say E. coli had been detected before the 30-kilometer stream. While local man said he was not surprised at the recent findings and that residents here have often intestinal problems and so they often don't visit the doctors. I believe this can have something to do with that. Further samples were being taken from the stream over the weekend, with the results not expected until Monday.
More details emerged Saturday of Angelina Jolie's visit to a Turkish camp for Syrian refugees escaping military crackdown from their home. The actress, a United Nations Goodwill Ambassador, visited the Altinozu camp on Friday and spent several hours talking to some of the refugees and camp officials. Video released by the offices of the UN High Commissioner for Refugees, or UNHCR, showed the Hollywood celebrities surrounded by refugees and listening to their stories. Jolie also praised Turkey for welcoming the Syrians, saying it was critical at times of crisis that people had access to safety. She said that the Turkish government and the Turkish Red Crescent had been extraordinary in their generosity in all they have done. She added that they had also made a point to say they were not going to be forcing anybody back, and that they were going to be keeping their border open, and this was saving the lives and making a difference to all of these children and their families. So we were very, very grateful to them. Nearly 10,000 Syrians had sought refuge in camps in Turkey. The Turkish government was building more camps near the border with Syria to house refugees escaping from the military crackdown or anti-regime protests that have been going on for the past 13 weeks. Protests were first erupted in Syria in mid-March as part of the Arab Spring push toward democracy. Syrian President Bashar Assad responded by unleashing the military to crush the street demonstrations. Human rights activists say more than 1,400 Syrians have been killed and 10,000 detained. In April, Jolie traveled to Tunisia during its refugee crisis as thousands fled from its war-torn neighbor Libya.
ICT Ministry will examine the CATS plan, and government will set new standard for tire rides and many more economics news after the break.